You know, you can do it. There's actually basically three ways. One is casting, which most people do overhand. You can do it sidearm. You can do it underhand. However way you want to do it. Another technique is called flipping. That's what flipping. Don't worry, I'm dead accurate with you. I'm more dead than I am accurate, but you know, that's it's a dead accurate technique to be able to flip. The flip you're using two hands to do it. It's a little bit like walking and chewing bubble gum. You're doing a lot of stuff. It's a little bit harder to learn how to flip. That's what you're doing to learn how to flip. Flipping is done at a relatively short distance, but it's extremely accurate. Very, very accurate way you like to get your bait out there and fish. But you only want to do it when you're maybe like 15 or 20 foot away from where you want to put your bait. You do it when you fish around a lot of logs and brush or trees or things like that where you can lay a bait out there and you lay it right in the exact spot where you want it. Like you can clean a couple of feet and let it fall right down to where the fish. It's basically a loose line technique. You put that bait out there right where you want it. Drop your line, let the bait fall straight down. If you hold your line tight, like you do in most of fishing, it'll fall back toward you, back toward the bank or back toward the boat, whatever you're fishing in. And so you want to, when you put that bait out there, you want to drop your rod tip and let it fall right straight down. Hopefully you're letting it fall right straight down to where a fish is laying, and they'll bite it usually before it hits the bottom. Now, in casting, of course, everybody knows what casting is. And pitching, this is pitching right there. That's called pitching. And it's actually the easiest of all of those techniques to learn how to do. Probably the hardest to learn how to do is that flipping I was talking to you about right there. That flipping, that's right. It looks easy, but it's kind of hard because you're picking the rod up with one hand over here, you bring it in, using your wrist, use your wrist to pitch, your wrist to cast, your wrist to flip. All three are done with your wrist. None of that is done with your arm. You're doing it just with your wrist. And if you're throwing and use your whole arm like that, you don't need to be doing that. Just use your wrist. Even if you're going to make a long cast, just use your wrist. Make a real long back, forward, just use your wrist. One way to learn how to do that is put something like a book or something between your elbow and your body, like right there. So if you get ready then, and you're going to say, do a pinch, you can hold that book. You're doing that pitching right. But if you start using your arm, then your book will fall out. So you want to just use your wrist in doing that. Now, here's how you learn how to pitch. This is easier than falling in love. It's an easy deal right here. Here's how you learn how to fish. 2 or 3 things you need to remember. 1, open your reel up. I fish with my reel, so I'm pretty wide open. See, I push that button, see how fast that bait falls? A lot of people have their reel set where they press the button, it just barely falls. Probably when you learned how to use this kind of reel, they might have taught you to do that. Open it up a little bit so when you push that button, it'll fall real fast like that. See how fast that thing's turning through there? Real fast like that. Now, you want to maintain, keep your thumb on that spool when you cast or fish. Have your thumb on the spool where you're feeling that spool turn around underneath your thumb right there. So then you're going to learn how to pitch. All right, open your reel up. When you wind your bait in, you don't want to wind it up to the top like you do if you get ready to cast. You want to wind it in, have your bait somewhere between this first eye on your rod and your reel. Somewhere in this area right in here. Bring it up here. Remember that part right there. Everything else is going to get real easy. The next thing you want to do is simply catch the bait in your hand like you've done right here. Take a bait in your hand, you got the reel in your hand, button push, thumb on the spool. You're going to hold your rod tip down like that. And all you're going to do then to learn how to pitch, you got the bait in your hand, you're going to drop the bait, raise your rod with its hand over here. That's it. That's how you learn how to do it. Drop the bait, raise the rod. Drop the bait, raise the rod. As long as you have that bait in this area up in here, somewhere between here and here, you're fine. You got the bait down here. All I'm going to do is drop this bait, raise my rod tip. That's how you learn how to pitch. Now, once you have that technique down, you want to stop catching that bait in your hand. You want to stop catching the bait in the hand. The bait in the hand is just learn how. I actually see people out on the lake catching their bait in their hand and when they're pitching. Yeah, I see them do that. You don't want to do that. You want to. This is just a learning technique to catch it in your hand. That's just a learning technique. So what you want to do is once you've learned how to do it, and you kind of train your muscles to do it, you're pitching with your wrist, it's simply you're still bringing that bait up to here. So when you bring it in, you push the button, dropping your rod, and raising the rod. You're doing the exact same thing, you're just not catching the bait in your hand. And you need to learn how to do it both left-handed and right-handed. That way if something happens, you get hurt and you can't catch with one hand, you can always catch with the other and still go